What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the revival, the rejuvenation of DankShrine. I am your host, Toast. I'll be here all day. Be here for the rest of your lives. Just a quick little update, with the show. Obviously, we haven't had an episode for going on, I don't know, 2 months or so. I think, and now it's been. And I know that I made tweets yo, show's coming back. We're gonna keep doing it. And I just want to be, real with you guys. And we have a show today, obviously, because I have some stuff ready for you. We did do some interviews and stuff for Austin. Not as much as I would have liked, but we'll get into that here in a minute. I just want to go over with you guys kind of what's been going on. So obviously we've had the Pylon Show startup, which took my old time slot, which ended up it totally sucked. I feel like it forced me to quit doing the show because it was pretty much the exact same thing I was doing already. Just going over topics and everything else. So it kind of just gave me an excuse to quit doing it. At the same time, it was almost while I was bitter, I was also happy that it had happened because it kind of gave me an excuse to stop doing it because I felt like it was just the same old shit that you guys had already seen. There was nothing new. There was nothing exciting. There was no reason, other than the guests to keep watching. There was nothing really appealing, bringing you guys back. So, I was kind of in a bad place with it. I'm looking to change things up in general. So I just want to do things differently. And I still don't know what that's going to look like. I'm going to do my best to just keep trying to do stuff my own way. As of right now, the show is going to just be me. I'm not really prepared to have other people on. We might still do some interviews and stuff in the future, for the future and stuff, with upcoming things and everything else. But for the time being, it's just going to be myself, with you guys, going over topics and stuff, and just kind of just doing I don't know, just whatever. I don't want it to necessarily have a set theme. We might do different stuff different times. We might do some tournament stuff. Might get into casting. I don't know. I don't want to say because I'm not for sure where it's going to go, but we're gonna get there. So, but yeah. Anyway, so welcome to the revival. We do have a new sponsor for the show, Midwest StarCraft. I will get you a link to that Discord. Basically, Midwest StarCraft is an open Discord server for all Midwesterners that play the game. It's just a great way for us to communicate and to keep up with everyone who's involved locally within the scenes. Run by a friend of mine. We put on a couple lands here in Minneapolis per year. And it's just a great group of people just to gather up and to visit. So really cool opportunity from them allowing us to some resources and stuff. They helped out with our trip to Austin to do some of these interviews, and I didn't do as many as I wanted. And we'll start with Austin here as our first topic. So Austin was really fun. I didn't get a lot of interviews done. The only two interviews that I did end up getting were MMA and MC, which were great. They were also super last minute, so I really didn't have anything to prepare, and I was kind of shitting the bed as I was doing it because because I have never met them, right? I'm a big MC fan. I've been a fan of his for years, so it was pretty awkward. Just getting up there and trying to do it with him, and it was pretty it was day of we'd gotten an email from the publicist that was doing the movie that they're promoting, Game Changers, and she's like, hey, if you want to do an email, 'cause she just sent it out to pretty much anyone that had a press pass. And I was like, yeah, I would like to do it. So I sent her a response, and she didn't get back to me until the last day. And she's like, oh, well, can you come in at 4 o'clock? And I was like, oh shit, I have nothing prepared, at all. So I was pretty nervous. I was like, oh shit. Yes, because I didn't want to pass up the opportunity, no matter how much I knew that they were going to suck, and they do suck. I still wanted the opportunity just to meet those guys and just to talk with them. So, and we'll show you those here in a little bit here as we get through the show a little bit. Not my best work by any means. Probably some of the worst interviews that I've ever done, but I'll still give you guys the honor of watching them. But let's just start with Austin in general. Let's go over DreamHack. Getting into DreamHack, the event this year, the venue, if you didn't go, pretty similar layout to last year. Although the StarCraft stage and area was much smaller, which was disappointing. Because as you saw from pictures, it was standing room only. We definitely needed more space. And they had a ridiculous double-decker PUBG stage, which while cool, because I've never seen anything like that, where it was literally they had one stage and then all the scaffolding and stuff, and then another one on top of it. So it was literally just something out of WWE. It was actually pretty crazy to see something like that. I was not expecting anything like that at all. So that was cool. But yeah, it cut into our area, so it gave the StarCraft area smaller. Which, if you guys know, someone had tweeted, I can't remember who it was, and I forgot. I would give you credit. I don't remember. But the numbers for like StarCraft 2, like we peaked at like 61K, and like CS:GO only peaked at like 42. Like we had better numbers like over CS:GO, PUBG. I forget what was the other game that they compared us to while we were there. Maybe it was like Rocket League. I don't remember, but we had like the best numbers. So it's great to see. Obviously, like, like the community is strong. Like we're gonna keep showing up to these events, and we're gonna show everyone that StarCraft is still the best esport. So that was cool. That was just like overall first impressions and stuff. And there was a lot of people there. And then we like immediately we ran into drama. So we're already getting into this. So the drama was we get there and there's the open bracket, right? If you didn't qualify, you're in the open bracket, or if you didn't, all right, not. I'm sorry, I'm confusing my words here. The open bracket, but then I'm talking specifically about the waiting list. So the deal was if you weren't already on the, if you weren't already in the bracket, you were on the waiting list, right? And it was this waiting list. So I had asked, the tournament admin, I was like, what's the deal? And he's like, get down here early, because we had one of our players. So Gemini played, obviously, and then we had Groovy Man down there as well. And Groovy Man was on the waiting list. So I asked the admin the night before. I'm like, hey, I just don't know. I just want to know, what's the deal here? How does this work? He's like, get down to the event early. Come talk to me. Check your player in. We'll get him, on the list. That way, if anyone, DQs or doesn't show up, we can get him entered. I was like, okay, cool. So I got down there bright and early, at 10 o'clock. And I was lucky enough to get into the event, so the line was packed because you have to stand in the line to get your pass to get in on the first day. Luckily, with the press, it's a separate line, so I was able to get in and out really quick with my press pass. So I went with him, said, "Yep, we're here. Groovy Man is my player. We want him to play. He is available. So please put him on the list you were telling me about." He's like, "Yep, I got you. No worries." So time goes by. More people are coming. More people are getting there and stuff. We're saying hi to everyone and whatever. And other players are waiting to get checked in, off of this waiting list, right, to see if they can't get a spot. Because we knew from the night before that Penguin wasn't going to play because he had his incident. We knew that Nice Username may not make it, which he ended up making it, and they gave away his spot anyway. So that kind of sucked, even though he did make it on time. But yeah, they were giving away these spots and stuff. So I know Hut was there. Yours was there trying to get, we were on this list, trying to play. And there were some other people that were there, just some community people. But I'm more specifically talking about the literal pro players that were ready to play. They're okay, I know I came here, on the assumption that I may not get to play. But this is where things got fucked up. So they told us, there's this waiting list, and they actually had a little typed out list and shit, which ended up apparently meaning nothing. Because basically they were going off some online list that was not publicly facing, that we could not see, which they did not tell us that. And so we're waiting. So it's Groovy Man, yours, Hut, Stefano was on the waiting list. Now here's where shit gets fucked up. So immediately Stefano comes over. He starts talking to the admins. He gets buddy. Immediately gets seated into the fucking bracket. Immediately. They even tried to give him someone else's spot that was actually there and checked in, a lower level player who was there and checked in. And I'm sorry if you're not actually a low level player. I just can't remember who it was, so I assumed it was a lower level player. But we're what the fuck? This is bullshit. He literally signed up last week. This bullshit. There's what was the priority here? And while he did make, a pretty far run, obviously getting into round of 16, that's not the point. The point is is this fucking, we're just picking favorites, or are there fucking rules to this game? Right? Because yours paid $2,000 for his fucking plane ticket only to get bitch slapped and say, nah, fam, sorry, you're not going to play. So, it was kind of bullshit. Everyone got there. Yeah, but Kev, it wasn't player privilege. That's what it was. It was based on preference. But that's what's bullshit, because that's not how it was supposed to be. There's not there was not a defined outline. It was not what we were told. And so that's what made things super frustrating. It's okay, what is actually going on here? And so no one seemed to fucking know. So it was super frustrating. Actually, I'm getting reheated up, but we were pretty heated about this all fucking weekend because it was just bullshit. You can't just come in here and fucking play favorites. You either follow the rules. It needs to be laid out better. Yeah, it was bad. It just needs to be laid out better. There needs to be an actual system in line for us to follow. What and show me where this fucking list is, right? Like I get that it's first come first serve. Like in my mind, here's how it should be, right? The first, because by no means I want the lower level people to play because they did everything right. I don't think they should be penalized for signing up and then getting there and then being there, right? They should get to play because that's what they did. They did everything they were supposed to. But here's how it should be when they're filling out the bracket, right? They should make it bigger. They should have just made it bigger in general. Would have been easier for everyone. But what I believe it should do is should go, okay, first we base it on the WCS points, right? If you've got points and you're coming, you're the first ones that are seeded. If you're playing on a quote team, right? Like a real team, like not just like a streamer, or something like that, but like you're on a team, okay, then you're the next priority. And then, okay, like you're just playing it for funsies, like then it's you. So like it should be like in that priority, like, going from like I have a stake in this to like I'm playing for experience to I'm just playing for fun. There should be some sort of a hierarchy with how we're actually giving away these spots. And overall, like it just needs to be opened up more. Capping it was stupid. And here's the bad part and the good part about that. The bad part was it was capped in general, right? And we had a lot of people that didn't get to play. The great part about it being capped was the fact that we had so many extra signups. They said that this year they had the most signups they've ever had before. So that was great to see. There was people there ready to play. They wanted to play, didn't get to play. So that part sucked. So yeah, I was pretty upset about that first day. So unfortunately, only Gemini got to play, and Gemini still did good. He played Panda Bear Me, for Scythe, and he did a good job. He threw one of his games pretty hard, but he still did good. I'm still proud of him. I would have liked for Groovy Man to play. Obviously, just like would have liked to see what he had. But there was a lot of great games. Like I want to get off of my own player stuff. There was a lot of great entries. Like Warren made a deep run, I think farther than he thought he was going to get. And he's been doing great in online cups lately. He's really been coming back. So I'm really looking forward to what he can see. But I digress. The story that everyone obviously knows about and wants to talk about is Mana, right? Because Mana 3-0's Neeb in the round of 16. Just completely demolishes him. Like it wasn't even funny, right? And I guess that was kind of the overall theme of round of like the court, like all the way to the quarterfinals. Basically, it was just 3-0s because that's what we have. Kellizer, Cyril 3-0, DNS Hero Marine 3-0, Lambo 3-1, Nerchio 3-0 on Scarlet. That was a big surprise, I thought as well. A Laser 3-0 TLO. Good to see TLO making a deeper run in the brackets. I know he has had some bad luck in the past in getting in farther in the brackets, that is. And then Special 3-0ing Bly. But yeah, Mana versus Neeb. I mean, Mana just played like insane. Like he's always like, and it was kind of funny like hearing people talk. It's like, oh my god, like Mana's so good. Like I had no idea he was this great of a player. And it's like, dude, Mana's literally always been a great player. Like he's, I don't want to say like it's like like he's gotten better. Like he's always been super good. You know what I mean? Like he just happened to, like steamroll. Like he made all the right moves. He just played smart. And he was able to crush Neeb, and Snoot, and then finally Special, which I heard in the audience a couple people were kind of upset that that Special didn't win because Special maybe could have beaten Cyril. Right, they're saying like, oh, his TVZ is godlike, like he's the only one that's got a chance or whatever, But as we saw from those finals, like Mana still put up a hell of a fight. Like I don't think anyone was disappointed with those finals, like at all. Like Cyril looked strong. Mana played really great games. I think everyone was happy with it once they saw it. So, but yeah, it was just like an overall, like great event. I thought it had a great ending. We saw a lot of names, like I said, that kind of, were making these deeper runs. Seeing someone like DNS get into round of 32, round of 16, I thought was great. Obviously, that's a name, the Europeans know a lot, but I know he hasn't gotten very many like deep runs, especially like into like WCS here. I like the StarCraft 2 has a feeling of resurgence of players here. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I don't want to say it's like a resurgence because they've always been good, but it just seemed like some of the ones that we don't see a lot were happened to like do better than normal, which was great to see. Like again for like TLO, for DNS. Stefano getting in, even though I think it was bullshit how he got seeded into the tournament. I thought that part was bullshit, but I still, he still put on like good games and stuff, so like that was great. Overall, the tournament went off pretty well. It was pretty fun. So now, I don't know. It just seems to be, and I'll from my point of view, it seems to be getting harder and harder to do the interviews when we're down there, just due to so I'll let you know. This is pretty much how it goes. On the first day, people are like, okay, so it's before everything starts. Like, no, I want to practice. Okay, that's understandable. You don't want to get them after they've been eliminated, right? And a lot of the times they're not even available anyway because they're helping out teammates or friends, or they're still watching. Like, I'm busy. And then day 2, it's kind of the same thing. Those that are already eliminated like just want to watch and they don't really feel like leaving and going to talk to you, and the ones that are still in need to practice. So it's kind of like the same thing. And day 3, of course, it's like, again, the same thing. So it's actually super hard to like get those interviews done at these events. Like, I'm still trying to like come up with like a good way to like get people to like want to do them. Like with Rifkin, it's easier because like he's got like the B stream going. Like he's like, hey, come over, like sit down real quick, blah blah blah, 2 seconds, and then it's all done from like that player area. So it's much easier for him because it's just like, okay, they're there and then they're gone. They can just go right back to their seat. So it's way easier for him. But yeah, like I said, it's overall was a good event. It was a great atmosphere. Everyone obviously is always super great at those events. The stupid cowboy hats and stuff like that was kind of funny. Like a lot of players were like wearing like like American flag shorts or like shirts and stuff. Like that was pretty funny. So it was great, and then it was great to see like the all the casters and stuff, like talking to the fans like after everything and like introducing everyone. So it was fun to see like people like talking to like recognizing like Gemini and things. So overall, it was a really great experience, great tournament. Right now, I think I'm looking forward most to Chicago, which is we're gonna have the next big tournament. I think for players that I know that are going to be attending, I know that Cham's going to be going. I think pretty much the usual suspects. So we'll see like Mick Monroe go. Pretty much all those Midwesterners, everyone in that Midwest StarCraft, I think will be in attendance. So really looking forward to seeing everyone down there. I myself will take that trip down there. It's just a quick, I think, 6-hour drive. So I'll be down there. And I'll try to do some more interviews. I think that'll be a lot easier place to do interviews because it's a lot less of a serious setting like WCS is. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing everyone down there. So if you're down there, make sure you say hi. I'd love to see you and talk with you. Let's get into these interviews here with MMA and MC. We'll start with the MC interview and then go to the MMA interview. Okay, and then I'm going to preface these again with I had almost zero setup time to do them, or B, to come up with any questions. So they're pretty generic, like whatever. It was a little bit combination of me being starstruck. I'm pretty rusty. I hadn't done interviews in a while. And then also like the timing was just awful. So just keep all that in mind here. And there was one mistake here when I'm interviewing MC. I call him a Royal Roader, and I actually meant Triple Crown. Royal Roaders were like when you're a rookie and you win a tournament or something. I can't remember exactly what Royal Roader is. But then Triple Crown is like you win a tournament in like each major region. I'd confuse those. So without further ado, let's take a look at this MC interview. Guys, I'm here with MC, the classic boss toss, the Obama toss. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. Happy to be back in America.
Yeah, it's great.
Also, the audio is borked. I don't know what was going on with the microphone that was giving it feedback. So I apologize.
Barbecue because I love meat.
Love meat. Now, American food or Korean food?
Of course, Korean.
Korean
because
food.
I'm Korean. Yeah.
I agree. So we want to talk to you about your career. You had obviously you're one of the most winning and earning-wise players. Mm-hmm. And then you had retired for a little bit. You had gone to Germany. You were playing for SK. You were still very successful overseas, winning a lot of tournaments. You're a Royal Roader. When you retired, what made you want to come back and play for CJ?
When I decided first to retire, I lost my passion. Yeah, so I don't want to play anymore.
Okay.
So I retired, and next to retired, I streaming a lot, StarCraft 2, and a lot of fans loved my stream, and they want to play qualifier. So I played qualifier and I won. So I'm in GSL again.
Yeah.
So it's make me patient.
Okay.
So why I came back for CJ, that reason.
Was the passion.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then after you were back, when you were on CJ, you guys were playing. I think my most memorable time for you on CJ was when you, I think you beat Zest, and then you did the Triple H.
Yeah.
Tell me like about your ceremonies. Like, where do you come up with them in your head, or like where do you get your ceremonies?
You know, I love WWE wrestlings, so I like The Rock and Austin and Triple H.
Triple H, yeah.
So when I win, I just thinking about Triple H's ceremony.
Yeah.
So yeah, just.
Is that one your favorite, or when you did the Undertaker?
Undertaker was too expensive for that.
But it was great.
It was great.
It was great. Well, then why did you leave CJ again for retirement again?
It was because team is broken.
For Kesco being with Pro League.
So I was in confused because team is broken and no more Pro League.
Right.
So I'm in confused, and Kongdu asked me how about League of Legends coach. So I thought, I wanna be a coach because I have good results as a player.
Right.
So new challenge for me.
Right. And then how was your experience in League of Legends? Like as the coach of Kongdu, did you enjoy your time there?
No, StarCraft is 1v1 and League of Legends is team game. So different thing is StarCraft is not important for teams.
Right.
Because just one player, good player, team is going to good.
Right.
But if League of Legends, one bad player is bad teams.
Right.
So it was really hard for coaching.
I gotcha. And now that you're done with being a coach for Kongdu, what's kind of your plans for the future? Like we have this, the movie that we've seen, which kind of followed your career. But what's the next step for MC?
Actually, I got new job, but it's embargo right now.
Okay.
So, but I will streaming a lot because it's for fans,
right?
And me because fans love me, so
Absolutely.
I get good feeling. Yeah,
absolutely.
So maybe in July.
In July.
Yeah, I'm streaming a lot.
All right. Well, guys, look forward to seeing more MC in July for streaming. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you later.
So yeah, the audio was completely borked on that. So again, I apologize. I don't know why I tested it earlier that day, and it was nothing. I don't know if something was giving it feedback or what. Like it was giving it, and then I tested it again later after that because I was listening to it. It was fine. So I don't know. Like, worst thing I can think of is maybe I just went full NASL sound guy and like didn't have it plugged in all the way or something, which. Maybe that's, I don't know. I really don't know what was going on with it, but yeah, it's like a high pitched whining. So those will be available on YouTube. Those will be uploaded separately to the show, so you'll be able to watch those just separately if you'd like to kind of check those out. Next, we had our interview with MMA. Had a similar issue, and then like my phone goes off and it like vibrates the entire tripod like near the end. So you'll see it. So enjoy this the short interview with MMA.
Hi guys, DreamHack Austin. Here is MMA, and then translating we have
Jimin Bay.
Welcome, thank you. So MMA, now that you're in Texas, have you been enjoying some Texan food?
텍사스 그 바베큐 유명하다 해서 바베큐 먹고 타코도 먹고 그리고 카약도 재밌다고 해서 카약까지 같이 했어요.
Texas barbecues were very popular, so we had Texas barbecue,
Okay.
and we had tacos, and today we kayaked because kayaking is very important in Austin.
Absolutely. And then what was your favorite food while being here?
여기서 최고 좋았던 음식은?
Of course, 텍사스 바베큐.
The Texas barbecue, of course. Texas, you've done it right. Well, thank you for coming and being here for the fans to meet you and being part of the broadcast yesterday for the streams downstairs. What I want to talk to you today is about you had just come out of the military recently, and you're becoming playing again, and you're really striving to really become a pro player again. What's the big differences since you've come back into playing?
제대하고 난 다음에 처음과 지금이랑 달라진 점이 무엇인가요?
일단 제가 나이를 2년, 2살 더 먹었다는 거와 그리고 외국 선수들이 옛날보다 한국 선수들보다 좀 더 실력이 많이 올라왔다는 거.
I'm 2 years older now, and there's a lot of international players that are getting very good than the Korean players.
Okay. Do you feel that age is a real factor, or do you think that's more in their head?
나이가 문제가 되는지 아니면 그냥 생각인지 사람들의 생각인지.
저는 뭐 둘 다 상관없다고 생각하는데 2년을 쉬었기 때문에 지금 그런 것 같아요.
Age is just a number; it doesn't matter. But because I rested for 2 years, I think that's kind of the important difference.
Okay, I agree. Who do you think the best foreigner is right now?
지금 최고로 잘하는 외국인은 누굴 것 같아요?
I think 세랄?
Cyril. Absolutely. Do you think he's going to win today?
오늘 이길 것 같습니다.
Maybe, but major is good.
Very good.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Very tough. Okay. So your most recent tournament that you competed in was Nation Wars. What was it like being back in a tournament with multiple players?
최근에 한 게 네이션 워스인데 다른 사람들이랑 같이 컴피티션을 하는 대회하는 것이 어땠는지.
일단 제대 후에 처음 나간 대회 중에서 국가를 대표로 한 대회거든요. 그래서 거기에서 우승할 수 있어서 더 뜻깊었던 것 같아요. 한국을 대표로 해서 나간 대회라서.
It was the first one that I competed in as a representative after I came back out of the military, and I think it was more meaningful because I could compete as a representative of Korea.
Right. And did that bring back some memories from before you went in?
예전의 기억들이랑 추억들이 회상.
네. 또 장소도 프랑스이기도 했고 제가 프랑스에서 한번 우승한 적이 있었는데 또 다시 프랑스를 가서 뭐 개인 우승은 아니지만 이제 한국을 대표로 해서 팀이 우승을 할 수 있어서 좋았어요.
The location was France, and I won in France too. But as a representative of Korea and winning as a Korean team was very nice and meaningful.
Absolutely good. And now finally, now that you've won in France and you're competing again, are the plans to compete for GSL Season 3 and qualify?
다시 대회를 하면 이제 GSL 예선전에서 하는 게 목표인지 지금.
네, 지금 GSL 시즌 3가 얼마 안 남았거든요. 그래서 한국에 돌아가면 그거를 이제 통과하기 위해서 열심히 연습을 할 거고, 그걸 통과해야 아직 그 블리즈컨을 갈 수 있는 그런 기회가 주어지기 때문에 열심히 하겠습니다.
I'm putting my more efforts if I go back to Korea. Now that I'm going back to Korea, that I would put my more best efforts to qualify for GSL and later compete for BlizzCon.
All right, excellent. Well, we'll all be cheering for you. Thank you for the interview today, and thank you for translating.
Thank you.
Guys, we'll see you later, and hopefully we'll see if his predictions come true.
So yeah, you can see that both those were not my best work, so I apologize about that. I'll do my best to not let that kind of shit happen again. It's pretty much unexcusable. I don't know. I don't know what else I can say other than that I'm extremely disappointed in myself and in the quality of those. I could make excuses all day long, but it is what it is. But at least you got to kind of see them. It's one of those things. But yeah, so overall, again, Austin was a lot of fun. It was cool meeting those guys. You'll have to check out their new documentary coming up, Game Changers. I did get to see it. Their PR person actually gave me the link to watch it, and it's actually super good. Like, if you're a fan, back in 2012, 2010, through those, or late 2014 even, it's really going to bring up a lot of those old memories from watching GSL and stuff, and watching these guys compete at some of those lands back in the day. So highly recommended. Even if you're a newer player, I would highly recommend watching it. I know that you'll still enjoy it for sure. Moving on here. The other thing we want to talk about here is we did have our our qualifiers for Valencia last night. So here are the current list of current players. So invited participants. So these were the players that had qualified through being invited to the last event. Where can you get the document? So you can actually download it off of iTunes. Here, let me try to pull it up here. I just saw a link to it on Twitter. I didn't have a link ready to go, but I will find that for you real quick. I know it was in here somewhere. Super professional here, right? Like just scrolling through my Twitter timeline. Here it is. So there we go. Just take a peek through there. That'll have a link to it. It'll have a link to it through the iTunes store. You can purchase it through there. It's like 40% off right now, I think, if you get it now. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's really awesome. I really, really did enjoy it. So highly recommended. Okay, going back to Valencia qualifiers. So yeah, again, so Neeb, Puck, Masa, Scarlett are auto invited to participate in the Challenger tournament because they won for the last event. And then we have our top 4 Grandmaster players. So Silky, True, Semper, and Epic. And then we have our 8 qualified players. So we had M. Canning, Zeal, who I've actually not heard of, who's currently teamless. I guess he used to play for Team Ascension a while back, but he went on a tear. He played some damn good games. He looked pretty good. We had future qualified Vindicta, Cicada, Jon Snow, Kane, and then No Regret. So a couple of bigger names in there. I think it's pretty cool to see some of those players again that we haven't seen for a while, and some that we have not seen much of at all as far as the tournaments. Like Kane, obviously, like again, we're going to talk about like the resurgence. Like Kane, kind of coming back into the scene and playing like really well again. Cicada, of course, making it through again. No Regret making it through again. Vindicta, I think this is his first time making it through. Future, obviously, now being able to compete in these WCS events. And then Zeal. And then M. Canning, of course, is a household name. But he doesn't always qualify, but did good. Some of the names that did not get in that were kind of surprising, were like a Game Time. Unfortunately, did not get in. And then Warren actually had from Psystorm. He was playing amazing too. Like I think he got all the way up into the qualifier match and then got down to lowers and unfortunately lost in lowers. But he was playing super super high levels. So, looking at these qualified players. It'll depend on what these groups look like, obviously, like whether or not we can, make some predictions. But, if I had to go, I would say top 4 probably making it again. And then it's basically pick another 4. So unfortunately, I don't see M. Canning or Zeal getting through. I don't see Vindicta getting through. Semper might be able to get through. I would give Semper a good chance. Maybe Epic. I'm talking about just like getting through like in groups. But I think like if we're talking like who's getting invited again, I think we're talking same top 4 again. I think the other there's a couple chances. I mean, I'm looking at this. So like Masa and Puck, I think are like the lower 2. So if we're looking at anyone to beat them out, I mean, No Regret could easily replace Masa or Puck, I believe. Jon Snow, same thing. I believe he could get there. True, obviously, could definitely take one of their spots. Silky actually has been playing just insane. Like he's beating Koreans in like online tournaments. Like that dude is just going in like just total beast mode right now. Like if you've not been able to catch any of his games, make sure you're watching during these because he's just playing crazy. He's beating Koreans, like I said, like in online tournaments and stuff. Which I know it's not the same thing, but still, like he's been playing so good. So. I would love to see him actually make it through and qualify. Of course, I'd love to see our own guy Cicada get through and qualify as well. But yeah, those should be fun to watch. Obviously, you get a couple $1,000 for that, and you get your WCS circuit points. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, they had those matches last night. Shout out to like Gosu PvP for casting, Cole Terran for casting. Both those guys did a good job. I'm sure there was a couple others. Those were just the 2 that I was flipping back and forth. I'm on. So make sure you visit their channels if you're looking to rewatch any of those games that were played yesterday. That's a good place to kind of catch those out. Just talking like general news. I don't have a whole lot going on. Like we did see that Fantasy said that he was returning to StarCraft 2, not Brood War. Now that he's done with his military service, so it'll be interesting to see how Fantasy does. Obviously, like one of the best Brood War players, so I'm pretty interested in seeing what comes of that. Later today, we do have the Psystorm LAN out in Virginia, so make sure you guys are tuning into that. I forget who's going to be casting for them, but that'll be great. Looking forward to that. It's always fun to see those grassroots tournaments. So really looking forward to watching that later today. I don't have a whole lot otherwise. Like I said, Chicago is coming up, so we'll do our best to get down there and do some more interviews with some more players. I think I'm going to try to do some more interviews again for the show. I think I'm going to focus more on North American players for the time being instead of Korean players. We might get a Korean or two here and there, and then reinvite Sugar or Seeker back on to help us translate. But I think we might do get some NA players in here to help us. Some of these up and comers, kind of like a Warren, come on the show. Or Silky, I think would be great to have on. So I think that's the kind of general direction the show is going to take. I think we're going to do some more NA stuff, some more root-based things, just kind of getting back to basics with the show. But you can look forward to it. I'm going to try to do my best to keep the show live once a week again. It won't be consistent though. I have a variable schedule now. Unfortunately, in the past when I had the show, I had a very, a definite, schedule. It was, concrete basically. Now it's very variable, so I'm not for sure like what my days off are going to be. So it's kind of a little bit hectic right now, but I'll try to squeeze it in at least once a week. I just can't guarantee it'll be at the same times. Like today, just happened to have the day off. I had the afternoon, so I wanted to make sure that I, talked to you guys and kind of gave you the updates and showed you those interviews. But then, like I said, moving forward, they could be on different days, might be a weekend. So you just have to make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube to check out the interviews. They're probably going to be a shorter format now too. Like we've only been live for about, what did we start, 2:30? So like half hour, I guess. So really not that long. These are going to be a little bit shorter now, so a little bit easier to digest. If you've got stuff to submit, you can submit it through our Discord. If you type in !Discord, you can do that. And Kev, if you want to link the Midwestern Discord, if you live in the Midwest and you'd like to participate in any of our Midwestern tournaments, is one of our sponsors. Midwest StarCraft does put on LAN events for Midwesterners. We also do the online Midwest Cups. So yeah, if you're anywhere like within that Midwest area and you want to look for a place to participate in competing a little bit higher, that's the place to check out. I really can't think of anything else for today. I think we kind of covered everything. Maybe I'll leave you with a funny story. I'll leave you with a story from Austin. So this was me and Gemini. We were coming home on what was it? Was it Saturday night or Sunday night? I think it was Saturday night. We were coming home on Saturday night, and we had... Oh, Kev's not... Here, 1 second here. All right, there we go, Kev. Now you can go ahead and relink it. All right, so it was me and Gemini, and we're walking home from the Jackalope, which was the bar that everyone was drinking at. And if you don't know what a Jackalope is, it's like a fake thing. It's like a Sasquatch kind of, like in terms of like it's not real, but it's basically like a deer that has a rabbit that has antlers. So it's like not a real thing. But anyway, so they're eating. So we're at this place, and it was funny. Like I had gone out earlier, and there's like this little pizza place like right next to it, and they just do it by the slice, like big New York slices. And like I was like drunk talking the guy that was like giving me my order, like, thank you, brother, and like you're doing God's work, like just like I was making a complete ass myself. Just being like a dummy, like, okay, dude, like, what are you even saying? Like, shut up. Because that's how I get when I'm drunk. I just like to say random shit. But anyway, so later we were leaving, and I was like, oh, dude, we should get this pizza. I had this pizza earlier when I came outside. And this was a couple hours later. I'm like, we should get it. Well, the guy remembered me, so he gave us 3 slices for the same price as 1 slice. We're like, hell yeah, dude. So we were walking home drunk. We're walking down like 6th Street, which is where like all the bars are, and they close down that street. So you got to walk down pretty far to like go get a ride somewhere. So we're walking down, and Gemini's like, oh, like this pizza's actually pretty good. Like, kind of reminds me of home, because Gemini's from like like from New Jersey, like New York and stuff. So it's like, oh, it kind of reminds me of home. I was like, oh, does this remind you of home? And I start crossing the street like in front of a car. And I was like, oh, I'm walking here. Like, start yelling at the guy like a New Yorker. And we both started just like busting out laughing. And then it was funny because then the guy behind, like that guy, rolled down his window. And he yells it back at us. Like, I'm walking here. Like, he got it. So it was pretty funny. And then... And then it happened again the next day. We were at a crosswalk and we were crossing like way later than we should have been, and a car honked at us. And I gave him I'm walking here. And he like actually like slowed down to like start yelling at me, and I was like, oh, fuck you. Like, oh my God, dude, it was it was so funny. So good times. It was probably one of the most memorable things from the event, other than the event itself. So it was pretty fun. It's always a good time. Like, I love going to those events and hanging out with everyone. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys down in Chicago. So like I said, if any of you guys are down there, let me know so I can see you down there, say what's up. And yeah, look forward to us doing those interviews. And we'll catch you live with the show at some point next week. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Scythe Esports. Make sure you follow at Scythe Toast for myself, and then at DankShrine, because one of those 3 accounts will always get tagged or be giving you updates and details about when the next show will be. And you'll need to follow that, like I said, just because the show is not going to be at a concrete time anymore. But appreciate everyone watching today. Hope you enjoyed all those interviews. Those interviews with MC and MMA will be available later on YouTube. We'll go ahead and we'll get those uploaded separately so that you can watch those independently. So until next week, take it easy, and we'll see you guys later.